everyone. I'm here with Brian again. Thanks for being with us, Brian.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
So let's talk about body recomposition.
Right on.
This is a strategy that's used for people that don't necessarily want to gain or lose weight on the scale, but what they're trying to do is at least maintain lean tissue. If they can gain lean tissue, great, but they're trying to burn body fat. So in other words, they're not in a bulk. They're not trying to gain weight. The emphasis is not on gaining muscle. And the emphasis is not just on losing body fat, even though it would be more on losing body fat than it would be gaining muscle, because you're trying to improve your body composition. So you want your body fat to go from 17% down to maybe 12, which is a really good number. So that would be the strategy that we can talk about, from going from like 17% body fat to 12% body fat. And I know you're kind of doing that right now on your testosterone replacement therapy, but what are some of your general strategies in doing this?
Food. Hey,
it's everything.
I'm looking at a balance of everything I'm doing. So let's think about this. So when we're going to try to change our body and the structure of our body, if you're doing the same thing you're doing and it's not where it needs to be, you have to change your approach. If you're not following the guidance or the advice from somebody that has more understanding in the program, and you've talked to them and you're still doing your own thing, and you're disappointed because you've been at the gym 5 days a week, but you're seeing no changes, you've got to change your approach. Something for you isn't working with all this. When you're looking at recomposition of the body, you're really changing the body. You're going to see these programs out there that are related to, a lot of the times, dieting. I caution everybody. There's some fantastic programs that have you weigh in regularly, but I caution with everybody, don't chase the scale, if that makes sense. It's not going to give you always a good reading of where your body's at. So if you think you're heavy and you want to lose body fat, the scale does not give you all the answers. A lot of the times what you're dealing with, based on your supplements and your food and what your age is and how your bodies are changing based on that age, you could be retaining water. You could be losing water. You could be low on certain vitamins and minerals. So the idea to me is to find balance. Now, the three things you do want to know, and you want to use hand in hand because they should signal things with each other, or four things. You need to know what your BMI is. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you, well, the BMI is not a good measure. Look. I know that the BMI can be a struggle, but you're using it as a tool. You want to know if your BMI is over 35. You want to know if it's over 30. And that whether or not you want to try to shoot to bring it down, because when all these things are working together, your BMI will go down. So you got to look at your BMI. You need to know what it is. Your body fat percentage, you need to know what that is. You want to understand if you're over 40%. You want to understand if you're over 25%. You want to know where your body's at. That with your BMI is going to help you to understand the composition of the body. The next thing you're going to want to know is your measurements. You want to take all your measurements of your body, your neck, your waistline, your arms, your legs. There's a nice thing put out by the National Academy of Sports Medicine or ACE Fitness. They will tell you exactly how, and you can Google these guys. They will tell you where to take these measurements. You want to know them, and you want to take them regularly. And your food planning. If you put those categories together, you can start to manage the composition of your body. It takes all this stuff together and understanding how your workouts are going so that you know how to approach your body. So in other words, I can go on a crash diet and I can lose 7 pounds in 7 days. I can assure you if I do that and it's a fad diet system, it's going to be 90% water.
Yeah.
But if I know all these other things and I eat a good, lean, clean diet, I go into a leaner working system for my workouts as opposed to volume, which is hypertrophy, or opposed to maximal strength, which is another version of weightlifting, if you will. I won't be bulking my body out. I will be eating for my program and understanding how many calories I need for the day. And I will be effectively changing my body because my food and my workouts and all my measurements are put together. You put that together and then you got to define how your workout's going to work. Set a goal for body fat percentage, check it. Set a goal for BMI, check it. Now, I'm not saying you do this every day. But, maybe every Monday you take your body measurements with a tape at the house and you write them down. Then you step on the scale after you've exhausted your bowels, if you will. Okay. Then you, based on your measurements and your weight and your height, you calculate your BMI. And then you go and you take a look at all your food for the day and make sure it's good and for the week. And then you go through your program for 7 straight days. Get next to your Monday, do it again. Here's what's going to happen for a lot of you guys. You're going to immediately start seeing that your body size changes. Your waistline's going to go down. Your chest line might go down. Your body weight may not necessarily change a lot, your overall body weight, but your measurements will. Your muscle's going to start taking over. It's going to start changing how your body operates, and it's going to change how you feel. Steve?
Well, one thing that you didn't mention that I would put in there is skin calipers. Skin calipers are incredible because it's not that they're going to give you an accurate body composition, but they can get close. But here's what I like about them. You can be consistent. So if you're a man, you're usually going to take it here on the chest, on the abdomen, and on the thigh. And you can find a formula on your computer, online and go punch those in. But what I like about it is if you do that every Monday, along with the measurements and the things that Brian mentioned, if those measurements are going down, you're going in the right direction. So if I take the chest measurement and it's 12 one week and next week it's 10 millimeters, I improved. Just make sure you are consistent with where you're measuring, and you don't even really have to know what it says your body composition, because if they're going down across, your abdomen and your thighs, you're going in the right direction, especially if you're maintaining your weight. That's golden. You maintain your weight and those skin fold measurements are going down, you're doing a good job. And the last thing I would throw in there is, if you're going to start this, somebody, maybe you're skinny fat, people who are skinny fat want to do a body recomp, they don't want to be skinny. Maybe they certainly don't want to lose weight usually because they're skinny fat. But when you change your diet with this, go one step at a time. Don't just stop eating and starve yourself and go on some crazy diet. Change your food first. Make your food healthier. And you guys are smart enough to know what healthy food is. I mean, most people are, whole foods, natural foods, get away from processed foods. So change what you're eating and eat comfortable. Don't, restrict yourself. That would be the first step. Don't start doing, 2 hours of cardio right out of the gate. Hold that off so that you have something to add to stimulate that process or the progress if it starts to slow down. So that would be my 2 cents.
I think that's a perfect way to approach it, Steve. I got a buddy that works out with me here at our facility, and he's trying to recomp his body. So we bounced off a bunch of ideas. And the first thing him and I talked about and what he's following is changing his food. The guy's dropped, I swear, 3-4 inches off his waist in about 8 weeks because all he did, and I said, don't diet, bro. And we talked about this ad nauseum. He didn't diet at all. What he did was he changed what he's eating. He pulled out, he realized, he would go through the day and he would have, a half a dozen cans of a drink that were just loaded with sugars.
Huh.
Well, he got rid of that, started changing from simple carbs and starchy kind of eating to real lean, basically eating, you name it, protein, whatever he wants.
Yeah, bump it up.
All the vegetables and fruit that he can get his hands on, and pulled everything out of his diet. He never goes hungry. He's not dieting. His body is changing. That, coupled with a very good workout program, the guy's making significant change. And you said something that's really important. He hasn't lost a ton of weight. He's just completely changing his body, and you can see it. He's only dropped maybe 10 pounds in 2 months.
Yeah, that's great. And that's how you do it. You got to leave yourself some room, as much room as possible, to make adjustments. So hope that helps everybody. If you want to reach out to me, you can get me at stevemain.com. If you have a testimony or any comments about your body comp situation, please let us know in the comment section. If you want to rip into us, we like that too. Go ahead, get it all the time, or sometimes, I guess. So thanks for being with us, Brian.
Steve, it's always a good time. You guys have a good one.